Welcome YouTube, welcome to all my boredom busters, and hello to all you new hobby hunters. I am Brad Claybaugh, your host, and this is Brad's Boredom Busters. This is the channel that explores all sorts of arts and crafts, and we make sure it's easy for you to learn how to do it right here. Alright, so this video we are going to be showing you how to tie up a V-front tie-dye t-shirt. And we're going to do it in two different styles to show you that not every pattern is a very rigid pattern. There are possible variations that you can do to make it unique to yourself. But before we do that, let's let Buster show us what to do if you want to subscribe. All right, Buster, take it away. All right, thank you, Buster. All right, let's get on with this video. So we are going to be tying up a 100% white cotton t-shirt, and it has already been pre-washed and then soaked in soda ash for 20 minutes, put in the wash machine to spin out most of the moisture. We'll leave it partly damp so it makes it easier to fold up and easier to dye. All right. Let's head over to my work table and I'll show you how to tie up the V-front shirt. All right, Busters, here we are at my work table. Let's go through all our supplies that we'll need to fold this up first. We have our 100% cotton shirt. Like I said, it's been pre-washed and soaked in soda ash. You're going to need kite string to tie it up. Or you could use Sinue if you want a definite white line division between the V pattern. The V on the front of the shirt the top part of the V will be one color. The bottom will be a secondary color. I like to do contrasting colors. Here a little bit of color theory. Good contrasts are opposite colors on the color wheel. So say if I dye the top in yellow, then the bottom would be in a purple. Or if you wanted to do something for the holidays, you could do a red and a green. Those are opposites on the color wheel as well. Those are usually very bold and striking color combinations and have a good appearance. You'll need rubber bands as well to scrunch up part of the pattern as well. We'll need a yardstick to draw out our pattern. You'll need a washable fabric marker to help draw out the pattern. And that should about do it. All right, so I have the shirt turned inside out right at the moment. And now we'll help center it and fold it in half. So the best way to center this is to bring one sleeve in through the other. Line up the seams on the bottom of the sleeve. And then make sure your shoulder seams are also matched together. Wrinkles out that are on the inside, invariably that always happens when you fold that over. You'll end up with some wrinkles, so let's get those out. Okay, so that pulling the sleeve through the other helps center the shirt. It ends up putting the center of the front of the shirt, which is here, and then the center of the back of the shirt together So that way when you fold out the pattern, you have a mirror image front to back. And then just try and smooth out all the wrinkles as best you can. Okay, and let's see, I hope you can see. Let's see, we'll pull that down here. There we go. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, so now create the V. We want to take our washable marker and pick a point. I don't like it to be too far down on the belly, so maybe a couple inches underneath the armpit. So we'll go about there. And then take your yardstick and draw that across over. And this is really up to the individual. If you want to come right to the top of the sleeve or into the sleeve, I kind of like it into the sleeve, so half the sleeve is one color and the other half is the color of the V. So let's take it right to about the middle of the sleeve for this one and draw that line out there. Okay. And so now all you do, this is going to be a real simple fold, is just a straight fold on this line. Just gather up your pleats. They don't have to be very big on this one. Just whatever's easy to pull together. You just want to fold that so your guideline is straight when you're finished. Don't you just hate when that happens? Okay, there we are. Yeah, you got to be careful. If you pinch that too tight, that happens. It'll pop up on you like that. All right, we've got a pretty straight line on our fold. Make some adjustments. There we go. All right. So you can see that right there. So now take your kite string. Like I say, at this point, you could tie this up with sinew if you wanted to. And if you do and cinch it down tight with the sinew, then what you'd end up with is a white line between the top color and the bottom color. For me, I'm going to use kite string on this one. And that way my colors kind of meet a little bit closer to the center. Try not to blend the colors at the transition. So like usual, take your kite string, get it cinched up though to hold the pattern in place. And go around about 4 times, usually quite enough to hold it in place. That tied off. Okay, that's good. All right, so now at this point, let's take the top. We're going to create kind of a spider pattern, and basically you just spiral that and it'll be kind of a downward. You want to turn it so the neck comes down toward your string. And then get some rubber bands and hold that in place. Okay, so you saw how that works. So you want to spiral that so it kind of is going down toward your tied off line. And that way the spider pattern, kind of the legs face in the right direction. And then for the bottom part of our shirt, we're just going to do a scrunch. So just gather all that up. And then that could get rubber banded off also. Okay, so that's our V-front shirt with the spiral spider pattern and then scrunched up here. This one, I believe I'll do yellow. It'll be a two-tone yellow on top and two-tone purple on the bottom. So I said I'd show you a variation. This was kind of a straight line V. I'll show you another variation that you could do. Like I say, there's many options with this pattern. It's very simple. All right, and this is, yeah. So I'll do the same thing that I did with that one. It'll be inside out and then the sleeve pulled through. So let's speed on through that. And then when I stop, I'll show you how to make a different pattern. So this V, we will not need to use the yardstick. We're going to do this one freehand. What's going on in there? There we go, that's better. All right, so this will be freehand, and we're going to start a little bit lower, I think, on this one. And I want this one to be a bit of a graceful swoop. So I think we'll start here and come up and then curve it around. Like that. There, I hope you can see that. So I came up and then curve it around. And that'll be our fold line for this V. So just like the first one, just start down here in the middle. Start gathering up your pleats. Follow your line. Keep it, everything as straight ahead as you can. Okay, so there we are. Got our V, our curved V, folded in a straight line again. And with, like I said, with this, you can do almost any variation of the V that you like. I mean, you could do kind of a squiggly, a squiggly line going in a V shape. Like I said, this one we did a bit of a swoopy curved V. All right, so then we'll tie this up with kite string, same as the first. And try to tie your string on your line to help keep the pattern intact as well. Okay, so there's the second one, and then we will do our spider spiral here again. About midway, start twisting that up. Okay, that's good for that. And we'll do the same scrunch on the bottom. Okay, I think that's good. There we go. All right, so that is our second one with the curved V. And this one, I believe I'll dye red and green. It'll be a two-tone red, two-tone green. All right, so let's go out in the garage and we'll get the dye ready and I'll show you how to dye up both these patterns. All right, all you dude and dudettes, we're out here at my laundry sink ready to dye up the two shirts. As I apply the dye, I'll put the colors on the screen. I'm using my Dharma dyes, so I mixed them according to manufacturer's instructions. Depending on what manufacturer you use, make sure you follow their instructions on mixing their dye. If you're interested in using the materials that I use, I'll put a link to the Dharma dyes down in the description. All right, so let's get going with putting the dye on. So our first one was just the straight line V. I'm going to do the top in two-tone of yellow and the bottom in two-tone of purple. And the way you get the best two-tone effect is to put on your lightest color first. Make sure it's fairly well saturated. And then just quickly sprinkle over that the darker color. And that way when it's all finished and washed out, you'll get this two-tone effect. The darker colors will stay up on the top of the pleats, and then the lighter color will be down inside the folds, and it gives it a nice look. Okay, so that's our first V. Let's get that in the tub. That'll sit in the tub for 24 hours to cure. And then we'll dye up our next one. All right, so this is our curved V. This will be red and green. Two-tone red, two-tone green. Okay, that one's done. That can go into the tub also for 24 hours. When they come out, then they'll both get rinsed out here at the sink to get out the excess dye that hasn't penetrated into the fabric. It'll go into the wash with regular detergent, but then also with my dye fixative. And then it'll go into the dryer. And after that, we'll do the reveal. And that'll be tomorrow. So we'll see you then. Okay, Busters, here we are back in my workspace. These are our two V-front t-shirts. So this was our purple and yellow, and then our red and green. And so the yellow and purple, this is the one that we just drew a straight line with the yardstick. And the spider pattern came out really well on the top. I was a little cautious about putting the purple on the lower part. I didn't want it bleeding into the yellow, but I could have stood to put a little bit more dye on it. But the neat thing about when you do purple, if you do have some white areas, it tends to bleed in and turns a little bit blue, so you get some color there anyway. So that one came out good. The green and red came out really nice. So you can really see the swoop of the hand-drawn V shape. So that one came out really good. The green did bleed into the red a bit, but that's okay. But you can see the two-tone really well on the green, and then the two-tone on the red as well. So all in all, I think both shirts came out as intended. So I hope you learned something on this, that if you're doing a real simple pattern like the V front, you don't have to just be rigid with that idea. You can be creative with it and do something that's a little different. If you really wanted to, you could almost do something that was wavy and just fold it up following that wavy line. That would give you a different look as well. So anyway, I hope you liked this. All right, let's go back over to the desk and we'll talk about our next upcoming project. All right, all you dude and dudettes, I hope you enjoyed that project. I think those shirts came out really cool. So if you learned something, please give me a thumbs up. And if you really enjoyed the video, maybe subscribe so you can see our upcoming videos. Tell some friends about us. Don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And speaking of upcoming videos, well, our next video, we are going to do a Ron Star. I had a comment from a viewer after I posted the Starflower t-shirt about the Ron Star. And I told her that it was a similar fold, but different. So come back and see our next video when it's going to be the Ron Star t-shirt. All right, well, hey, thanks for watching this video. And if you have any questions, I love to see comments from my viewers, and I answer all of them. So don't forget to come back for the next video. All right, y'all. Peace out. And don't forget to go bust out some art.